Tesla just leaked the specs for a $9,895 electric car that could completely destroy the gas car industry. And it's not what you think. While everyone's obsessing over 0 to 60 times and fancy autopilot features, Tesla quietly designed something far more revolutionary. An electric car that actually makes sense for real people living real lives. In the next 10 minutes, I'll break down the 4 revolutionary features that make this the most practical electric car ever built, why it could save you thousands in repair costs, and how Tesla plans to get one in your driveway by 2026. We're talking about a complete reimagining of what car ownership should look like. Welcome back to Tesla Torch, where we cut through the hype to bring you the real story behind Tesla's game-changing innovations. If you're ready to see how Tesla is about to make electric cars affordable for everyone, smash that like button and hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Everyone's focused on that $9,895 price tag. But here's what nobody's talking about. Tesla didn't just make a cheap car. They completely redesigned what it means to own a car, starting with the thing that ruins most people's budgets: repairs. Picture this scenario. You're backing out of a parking spot at the grocery store, and you hear that sickening crunch. Your bumper just kissed a concrete post. With a traditional car, you're looking at a nightmare. The body shop quotes you $2,200 for a new painted bumper, plus 3 days without your car. Your insurance deductible is $500, and now you're wondering if this minor scrape is going to affect your rates. The Tesla Model 2 turns this entire experience upside down. Those bumpers, they're made from unpainted textured plastic that actually hides scratches instead of showing them. When you do need a replacement, we're talking about standardized clips and screws that any mechanic can handle in 30 to 60 minutes. The part costs between $90 and $200, and the total job rarely exceeds $400. But here's where it gets really clever. Tesla designed every exterior panel with this philosophy. Those fender lips that always get scraped when you park too close to the curb, replaceable plastic pieces that clip on and off, the rocker panels that get dinged by shopping carts, same deal. Tesla pushed almost every common repair into the 3-digit range instead of the 4-digit disaster zone. This isn't just about saving money on individual repairs, though you absolutely will. This is about preventing your car from becoming a total loss. Insurance companies have a simple formula. If the repair costs more than about 70% of the car's value, they declare it totaled and send you a check that's never enough to replace what you lost. By keeping repair costs low, Tesla dramatically reduces the chance your car gets written off over what should be a minor incident. Now let's talk about the parts that really get expensive on modern cars, the lights and sensors. Traditional LED headlight assemblies can cost anywhere from $900 to $1,800 to replace. One small crack, one burned-out LED cluster, and you're looking at a massive bill. Tesla solved this with what they call a cartridge system. Instead of one giant headlight assembly, the Model 2 breaks everything down into small, replaceable modules. The daytime running lights are separate from the turn signals, which are separate from the cornering lights. Each module has its own connector and can be swapped out individually. A technician can replace just the broken part in 30 minutes to an hour and a half, and individual modules cost between $120 and $250. The same philosophy applies to all those parking sensors that every modern car depends on. Instead of replacing entire sensor arrays when one goes bad, each sensor is individually replaceable with standard connectors. We're talking $80 to $300 per sensor instead of $800 to $1,500 for a complete system replacement. But Tesla didn't stop at the exterior. They designed the interior to survive a decade of real-world use without looking like a disaster. The trim pieces use fine textured surfaces with anti-fingerprint finishes that resist the grime and micro-scratches that make older cars look shabby. The seats are covered in materials rated for 50,000 to 70,000 Martindale cycles. That's the industry standard for measuring how fabric holds up to wear, and even the clips holding the interior trim are designed to reduce those annoying creaks and rattles that develop over time. These might seem like tiny details, but they're the difference between a car that feels solid and premium after 5 years versus one that feels cheap and worn out. Here's something that's going to sound revolutionary but shouldn't be. Tesla gave the Model 2 actual physical controls for the things you use most often. Wipers, seat heating, window defogging. You can control these without diving through multiple touchscreen menus. Studies show that physical controls can save tenths of a second per action compared to touchscreen navigation, and those tenths add up to a significantly less frustrating driving experience. The daily usability details are where Tesla really shows they understand real life. The front doors open to about 70 degrees, which makes getting in and out easier when you're parked between two SUVs at the mall. The seat height and door sill are designed to minimize the knee bend required to get in and out, something that matters more every year as we get older. The cargo area is thoughtfully designed for actual grocery trips. The load floor is flat and sits about 650 millimeters from the ground, low enough to load heavy items without throwing out your back, but high enough that you're not crouching down to the pavement. The trunk opening is wider than 950 millimeters, and there are 4 bag hooks rated for 2 to 4 kilograms each to keep your groceries from rolling around and scuffing the interior. The rear seats fold 60-40 to create a completely flat extended floor for longer items, and there's a front trunk compartment for your charging cable and emergency tools. These aren't revolutionary features individually, but together they create a car that makes daily life easier instead of harder. Now let's talk about something that drives people absolutely crazy about modern cars: the software. How many times have you gotten into your car only to find that it updated overnight and now you can't find the radio station you were listening to? Or worse, the update introduced a bug that makes the backup camera glitchy or the navigation system slow. Tesla approached this problem by giving Model 2 owners something almost unheard of in the car industry: choice. You can select a stable update channel that prioritizes software maturity over early access to new features. Think of it like using the "Don't update Windows until Microsoft has worked out all the bugs" option that power users have been begging for. Updates can be scheduled for overnight installation when you're not using the car. If you start driving during a scheduled update window, the process automatically cancels for safety and reschedules itself. A typical update takes about 30 minutes, though some larger packages need more time. You can view the status and change installation times through the car's controls, so you're never surprised or inconvenienced. But here's where Tesla's approach gets really smart: remote diagnostics and over-the-air support. Tesla technicians can connect to your car remotely to collect diagnostic data and often fix minor issues without you ever visiting a service center. This isn't just convenient, it's a complete reimagining of car maintenance. Instead of describing weird noises to a service advisor who may or may not understand the problem, Tesla can see exactly what's happening with your car's systems. They can often push a software fix directly to your car, or at minimum, they know exactly what parts and tools to have ready when you do come in for service. This dramatically reduces diagnostic time and gets you back on the road faster. Tesla also avoided one of the most annoying trends in modern cars: subscription fees for basic functionality. The Model 2 includes basic navigation and maps without requiring premium connectivity. You'll need a paid plan or Wi-Fi connection for live traffic updates and satellite view, but the core functions that get you from point A to point B work without a monthly fee. The Tesla Profile system stores your driver settings in the cloud and syncs them across vehicles when you sign in. Your seat position, mirror settings, drive preferences, and infotainment options follow you automatically. Set it up once, and then just use the car. That's the true spirit of set-and-forget technology. Now we get to the part that could completely change how you think about owning a car: energy and charging. Everyone talks about charging anxiety with electric cars, but Tesla designed the Model 2 around a simple principle: your car charges while you sleep, just like your phone. On a standard household outlet, the same 120-volt, 12-amp connection you'd plug a vacuum cleaner into, the Model 2 charges at about 1.44 kilowatts. Over a 10-hour night, that adds roughly 14 kilowatt-hours to the battery, which translates to about 45 to 55 miles of range depending on driving conditions. For many people, That's enough to cover daily commuting without ever visiting a charging station. But if you can upgrade to a 240-volt, 32-amp outlet, the same type used for electric dryers, charging jumps to about 7.7 kilowatts. A 4-hour evening session can add nearly 30 kilowatt-hours, often enough range for an entire week of typical driving. The system automatically schedules charging for off-peak hours when electricity is cheapest, stops at your chosen charge level to maintain battery health, and defaults to slower overnight charging that's gentler on the battery pack. This eliminates routine gas station stops and converts your fuel spending into predictable electricity bills. Let's talk real numbers. If you drive 800 miles per month at the Model 2's estimated efficiency of 0.27 kilowatt-hours per mile, you'll use about 216 kilowatt-hours of electricity. At 15 cents per kilowatt-hour, that's $32.40 per month. At 20 cents per kilowatt-hour, it's $43.20. Compare that to gasoline for 800 miles in a typical car, and the savings are substantial and consistent. But Tesla didn't stop at just charging your car. The Model 2 can also power your house during outages. Through the correct transfer equipment and inverter, the car can safely export power to essential loads like lights, refrigerator, internet modem, phone chargers, and a small water pump. With an estimated battery pack of 45 to 55 kilowatt-hours, the Model 2 can keep a 1 kilowatt load running for 45 to 55 hours or a 2 kilowatt load for 22 to 27 hours. That's enough to keep your essentials running through most power outages, which is invaluable for families with older adults, medical devices, or anyone who works from home. The charging infrastructure is designed to be as standard and replaceable as possible. The Model 2 uses common charge ports and accessories, making home installation as straightforward as adding any high-power appliance. It ships with mobile connectors for both 120-volt and 240-volt outlets, standard adapters, and load management to prevent tripping breakers when sharing circuits with other appliances. This ecosystem is easy to buy, easy to replace, and supports resale value because the next owner won't need to swap out the entire charging setup. For longer trips, the Model 2 treats DC fast charging as a range extender rather than a daily necessity. The navigation system preconditions the battery before arriving at fast chargers to maintain stable charging speeds, and Tesla recommends staying within the 10 to 80% charging window to optimize stop times. Simple practices like planning a charging stop every 120 to 180 minutes of highway driving, using app-based payments, and choosing sites with multiple available stalls help minimize waiting times. When your daily routine is built around overnight charging, road trip charging becomes a manageable occasional task rather than a constant source of stress. Here's where Tesla's strategy gets really interesting. They're not waiting until they can build the perfect car at massive scale. Instead, they're launching early with what they call a thin configuration, a basic but fully functional version that gets cars into driveways as quickly as possible. This approach prioritizes using existing production lines, established quality control procedures, and the current service network. By avoiding the complexity and delays of building entirely new manufacturing facilities, Tesla can pull delivery timelines significantly closer to the present. The Phase 1 configuration focuses on the essentials: home AC charging capability, common cables and adapters, efficiency-focused wheels and tires, durable interior materials, and those physical controls for frequently used functions. Safety features include a basic active safety suite, cameras and sensors for parking assistance, an efficient climate control system, stable software channels, and core services without forced subscriptions. This ensures that early buyers get a reliable, practical daily driver with controlled costs from day one. It's not loaded with every possible option, but it covers all the fundamentals that matter for regular use. As production scales up and parts supply chains stabilize, Phase 2 will introduce option packages that enhance the experience. These might include longer-range battery packs, seat and steering wheel heating for cold climates, improved highway sound insulation, enhanced home power export capabilities, and premium connectivity features. The beauty of this approach is that manufacturing improvements naturally reduce costs as scale grows. Shorter assembly times, further standardization of replaceable modules, and supply chain optimizations all contribute to lower unit costs over time. Later buyers benefit from more configuration choices without complicating the base model that early adopters receive. Understanding the Model 2's true value requires looking beyond the stick. Key price to total cost of ownership over 3 to 5 years. The three major ongoing expenses are energy, insurance, and maintenance, and Tesla designed the Model 2 to excel in all three categories. We already covered energy costs, which are dramatically lower than gasoline. Insurance should also be favorable due to the lower repair costs we discussed earlier, plus the active safety features that reduce accident frequency. Maintenance costs are inherently lower because electric motors have fewer moving parts than engines. There's no engine oil to change, and regenerative braking significantly reduces brake wear. Most importantly, those easy-to-replace exterior panels mean fewer repairs cross the economic threshold where insurance companies declare the car a total loss. This keeps more cars on the road longer and maintains their value better over time. The ultra-low base price is only feasible at high production volumes, but Tesla's strategy of launching early with a focused configuration and then expanding options and output ensures the Model 2 remains accessible while the market grows. This isn't about making a cheap car, it's about reimagining what smart car ownership looks like. When you add up all these factors, easy repairs that stay affordable, stable software that doesn't require constant management, overnight charging that eliminates gas station visits and provides emergency backup power, and early availability of a reliable daily driver with room to upgrade later, the Model 2 represents something genuinely new in the automotive world. This isn't about acceleration times or autonomous driving features. This is about creating a car that makes daily life easier, cheaper, and less stressful. It's about designing for the realities of how people actually use cars, not the fantasy scenarios that dominate car marketing. Tesla's Model 2 could be the car that finally makes electric vehicles the obvious choice for mainstream buyers, not because it's packed with high-tech features, but because it solves the practical problems that have kept people in gas cars: lower repair bills, predictable energy costs, hassle-free software, and genuine everyday convenience. These are the features that could change everything. The question isn't whether Tesla can build this car at this price. Their track record suggests they can. The question is whether traditional automakers can respond quickly enough to compete with this level of practical innovation. Based on what we're seeing from Tesla's approach to the Model 2, that competition is going to be intense. What do you think? Is Tesla's focus on practical ownership benefits more important than flashy performance features? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Tesla Torch for more deep dives into the innovations that are reshaping the automotive industry. The future of affordable electric vehicles is closer than you think, and we'll be here to cover every development.